Wills are really exciting to find. The first will I found was one from my 5th great-grandfather, John Thompson. At the time, I only knew my 4th great-grandfather, John Thompson. I had found the names of David and Horatio Thompson in the same area as my John Thompson, and had collected information on them, but I could not connect them until I found the will. The will gave me the name of John's father, another brother William, and David and Horatio, and Talitha Glenn, a sister. I will use this will to show you the basic format that most wills are found in. Knowing the setup of wills makes it easier to read them and find the information that you need. I will show you how to find testate wills in Family Search. Those are wills that were written out. Ancestry also has some wills if you happen to have an account with them. I will then show you examples of a few wills that can be found in Family Search. Be sure to watch my other court record videos, as wills sometimes show up in other kinds of court records. Intestate wills are wills that the deceased person did not write. They didn't have a written will, but the family or other person has brought them to court to be probated and to divide out the possessions, especially if they owned property. Most of the wills are fairly simple and only a page or two, but occasionally you will find a very long will. This is the will of my 5th great-grandfather and the first will I found. Most wills are set up in the same way. Named to the left of the will, and sometimes it's above. Sometimes it's just in the first line or two of the will. In the name of God and men. This is not always there, but it's very common to see it right at the beginning of the will. Name of the deceased person. County and state in which the will is located or was probated in. A statement of the person's health, physical and mental. Blessings from God, and that this is the last will and testament. A desire to be buried for the burial and payment of the body. Then comes the division of the person's belongings. This will be shown on the next 2 slides. Then the witnesses, then the person's signature, date of the will presented in the court, any further information. Then comes the division of a person's belongings. First, I desire that all my just debts be promptly and speedily paid. Now I'm trying to transcribe it with his spelling, and I think you'll be able to still understand it. Secondly, I desire that my beloved wife, Jane Thompson, shall have the house and home whereon I now live on, or as much of the land cleared and timbered as will be sufficiently for her to be maintained on. Now, notice he said his wife Jane. Don't assume that his wife is the mother of the children. In this case, Jane is his second wife. His children are from his first marriage. Jane also has children, but they are not mentioned in this will. Thirdly, my will is that at the death of my wife, that the land and house where I have given her shall be equally divided amongst my children and the children of my son, William Thompson, deceased. Fourthly, my will is that all of my property, both real and personal, whatever, shall be divided amongst my children and grandchildren, that is, the children of William Thompson, deceased. Fifthly, my desire is that the part that is coming to my son William's children shall be put in the hands of Waddy Thompson for them as they come of age or marry to be equally divided among the 5 daughters. And my will is that my son Horatio Thompson, David Thompson, John Thompson, Talitha Glenn, and the heirs of my son William Thompson shall have the equal part of my estate, and that they all give in what they have had of me, and that it shall be taken as their part, and a settlement made that way, And I further appoint my beloved son Horatio Thompson and David Thompson, my executors, to this my will and testament. Now this will was really fun to find. I found so much in it. The one thing I haven't found is it says William's 5 daughters. To this day, I've still not been able to find those 5 daughters. I think I've found his wife, but I just cannot find 5 daughters. And the interesting thing is that Waddy Thompson, I'm pretty sure he's related, but I have not found the relationship. I thought he was John Thompson's brother, but it appears that he wasn't. He may be a cousin. I just am not sure. Anyways, the will gives you more information, but sometimes it gives you clues of other information to keep searching. Okay, you're going to find at the end of it the witnesses. And again, notice I have Waddy Thompson, that I just haven't figured out the relationship. The interesting thing about Waddy is he was in charge of those daughters' money, but he died about a year later. And so I'm not sure who took over the account of those girls, and I still need to find those 5 daughters of William. And then there's the person whose will it is, their signature, and then the day it was presented in court or probated in court, and then all of this other information that is in there. All right, let's show you how to find wills in Family Search. There's quite a few different ways you're going to find the wills. So the first thing I did was do search catalog, and I've put in Metcalfe, Kentucky, and I've done online. I'm going to do a search, and you're going to always look for the probate records. And then you can come down here and look for something that has wills in it, and they have wills 1865 to 1933. And I believe the reason they don't have earlier is that's probably when Metcalfe was formed, was in 1865 or somewhere around there. So if somebody died before that and had a will, it would have been in the county before Metcalfe. All right, let's look at these. Now it says click here. Let me do another tab and show you what that is. That just takes you to wills in Kentucky, Kentucky probate records. And when I did that, it didn't have anything for Metcalfe, but it had them for Hickman County and other counties. So I'm not sure why they took you there, but you can do that if you're just looking for wills in Kentucky. There is a Kentucky probate. So just to show you that, I want to look right at the actual film, and it says that microfilm of the original records at the Metcalfe County Courthouse. So if you live near there, you can actually go look at the county. It's just that looking online is really a lot easier. So let's actually look at this record. Okay, they have an index right at the beginning. I can see that. So it's in alphabetical order, and go page by page. So we have Anderson's there. Here's your B's. Now I have Vanzants that are in my family. I don't think this is it, but I'm close. I have Thompson's, and there's Thompson's here. And Vanzant. I have quite a few Vanzant. Page 38. So let's go see if we can find page 38. I wrote this down. Okay, I think it's on. So if you're looking, you can just go down here and start clicking. I think it's image 47. Let me see if I wrote that down correctly. Yeah, page 38. Now I showed you before this, a lot of the wills start with "in God," something to do with that. And these in Metcalfe do not have that part of it, but they tell you the name of the person. This is Garrett Vanzant, and it does tell you the location, Metcalfe County, Kentucky. So just know that the beginnings, I mean, everything's going to be a little bit different, but there is kind of a format to them, and you're going to find the person's name and the county and the state where they're from. Okay, then we have, first I desire that all of my just debts and burials, I can't read all of this, but anyways. Second, this is just talking about his burial. Make sure that his burial has been taken care of. I give to my son, James N. Vanzant. Now, I had this up. I should have made sure that I had this up before. Oh, I do have it. Let me bring it over here. So here's Garrett Vanzant, and let's make a comparison. So he says, to my son, James M. Vanzant. Says deceased, he's going to give to the widow Elizabeth J. Vanzant and all of my son Jason M. Vanzant's children. So let's look at this. So he died in 1875, and here's James, and he died in 1864, and there's his wife Elizabeth, and then here's the children. So you can go through here, and he lists those children. Marietta, Fielding W, Sally F, Charles M, William D, and Elvina Vanzant. So we go over here, and I see there's Elvira, there's William, Charles, and Sally, but there was a Marietta and a Fielding, and that kind of threw me off at first. I thought, oh, he's missing two children. But notice here that James has had, that little arrow means that he's had two wives. So let me open up this tab here and show you James. It took me a little while to figure this out. So his first wife, there's Marietta, and there's Fielding, and then there's those other children. So this is definitely the right family. So that's all there is in finding these wills. The challenge is reading them. And remember that you can adjust the image brightness and darkness. Sometimes that helps, it makes that a little bit easier to read, and then you say apply. So that's what I wanted to show you in these Metcalfe County, how to look up these wills here. And many of the wills that are online, that's how you're going to find them, and you're just going to have to look at the index at the beginning of the record. Most of these are not indexed, where people have gone in and indexed them. Anyways, if you find one, they're just gems. They're wonderful to find, and I hope you can find some. They are wonderful when you find them. Alright, I'm going to show you another thing that you might find while looking for wills. So I did the search catalog, and I typed in Morgan, Indiana. And I come down here, and there's probate, there's 8 records, and there's probate court, here's wills. So let's click on the wills, and you see a little key up here. That means they're locked. You click on these, and you're going to get this loading error. Access at family history centers or affiliated library. So what you can do is contact a library near you. Find out if there's a family history center near you at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. If you don't have one of those near you that you could go visit, or they may not be open because, at least at this point in time, of COVID, but there are libraries, genealogy libraries, and many of them have their family search affiliate, and they would have you would have access to these. So you would look them up just like you did the one previous with Metcalfe, but you'd have to do it there at the library. So I just wanted to show you that that's what you might find, and I am finding a lot of the wills are locked. You have to be able to see them at one of the affiliated libraries. Okay, here's another one. I'm doing Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. This is something else you might find while you're looking for wills. So we do probate, and here's our will. It says Will Book A. 1823 to 1860. So when we look at it, we have a film, so it's looking good. And we come down here and notice that it's typed, which is really nice, and it's indexed. So if we look at these, we see different names. Now here's Jacob Flick on page 7, and here's Matthew Gill, page 3. So let's try and find page 3. It looks like this beginning 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this is page 3. Page 3. Now notice here, this is what they call an abstract. Somebody has gone through, read the wills for you, and they've abstracted the names that are in there. So, what was that name that we saw? Gill. It was Matthew Gill, and he was from Buccaria, I'm not sure how to say that township, and the administrator of his will was John Gill. And it was probated on the 16th of August, 1833. And bail was Isaac Goon. So, this is nice because you can read it, but you don't get the whole written out part of, who is listed. Now here's one that for Joseph Martin. It gives the executor and witnesses, and then we have people's names here. But here you can't tell. You've got children of William Hull and Hannah, but you don't know how they're related to Joseph M. Martin. And this is when it was probated. Now if you can find Joseph Martin, you might be able to find Susanna Hull, might be his daughter, and those are her husband and their children. I am not really sure on that. So that's one of the problems with these abstracted one is you get names and you get dates, but you just don't get the full information. It's not the same as reading it, but it's better than not getting anything. So you might find this when you're looking for wills. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing you might find in looking for wills. So we go to search, and I did Williamson County, Illinois. We're doing probate. And down here we're going to look at this, Williamson County, Illinois, Wills Book A. Come down and we notice that there says there's a film. But up here we have a digital version. So let's look at this digital version. Well, this is a book, and it's got 50 pages. So let's take a look at this. So when you come to one of these records that's a book, you can go page by page looking at it like this. And then sit here and read it. And I don't see an index. There might be an index at the very back of it, but one of the easiest ways is to do this search right here. And my husband has family from here. I'm going to do Norman. Whoops. See if we find anything. I should have looked. Yeah, there's David Norman as a guardian, and Francis Mary Norman, and David Norman. So if I click on this one, it takes me to that page. And again, this is a kind of abstracted. It's not everything there, but this one gives a little bit more information. David Norman, guardian, appointed. Now this is a guardian. This one is not a will. Now let's see if we can find. These look like they might be. This is a guardian. Okay, here's George Thomas died intestate. So this is an intestate will. That means that he didn't have a will, and it was probated in court to divide up his property. So this has more than just the wills. Again, you're not going to find the whole will. Okay, I'm not sure what this is. I haven't looked at all of these. David Will, county judge. Anyways, you would read this. I don't think that's a will either. But you have intestate-wills, and you would find some wills in here. So this is something that you might find, and it tells you the page you're on, page 5. There's more to show you on how to use books, but I have another video that already shows you how to do that. So, that's something else you might find in looking for wills. Okay, I want to show you another way to search for wills. This one, to me, doesn't give you as many good results as the catalog. But if you go to search and records, it brings you to this page here. And you come down here to the collections, and if you just type in wills, it lists some of the different wills. And let's see, I think I did this New York one. I did this Oregon one. I could not even get any results on that one at all. But this New York one I did, so I want to show you here. I just typed in Smith. That was a common name, just so I could show you how it works. And I got 2 here. And then if you want to look at the image, you can click here. And it gives you the indexed information over here, but it also shows you the actual will here so that you can look at it. So you can try that. There's just not a whole lot of wills that are in this section, but it is a possibility, and whenever there isn't a whole lot, give it another year or 2 and there may be a lot more wills listed in this format. Alright, today this is the last one I'm going to show you, and it's on using the books. So you do search books. You can do search books this way or over here, and it brings you to this page. So the first thing I did was type in wills and click search. And look at how many results I get. A lot of results. But there's a lot of books with wills. Now these are going to be abstracted. They're not going to be what you find on a film. You're not going to actually see it. And so in some cases that's much easier because those wills are hard to read. Excuse me, I've had a cold. Try not to cough too much. Okay, the other one. So I went back and I did the search books. And I just typed in South Carolina wills. And I said search. And notice I still have a lot of results, but not as many. And so you see, here's one for Marlborough County. So you can try typing in for the county and the state and say wills. And then you're just going to click here to see the full text of what it is. And here, this one already tells you it's abstracted wills. So that's another way to find wills. Anyways, I hope this is helpful, and I really hope that you can find some wills because they are so helpful in identifying family members. Good luck in your search. Happy hunting!